Hi everybody, welcome to Beginner Pilates. So we'll go over our setup and we'll get into our beginner exercises. So you have parallel feet, making sure the feet are not turning out or in, so parallel with each other with the mat, and they're hip width apart. So the size of two fists is your hip distance relative to your own bone size. You have hip width between the knees as well, and then you have your shoe size heels to glutes. If the feet are too far away, it may encourage your back to arch, so just make sure that you have your own shoe size roughly, a little bit bigger than your foot size. Then you roll your back down onto the mat. We make this Pilates compass shape, your thumbs together, your index fingers together, thumbs onto the belly button, fingers rest down just above your pubic bone with the heels of your hands on your hip bones or the wings of your pelvis. You can imagine that there's a marble in the center of this diamond. You're going to roll the marble into your belly button, and then you're going to arch your back so that the marble rolls onto the floor. So in one direction, you roll your back into the mat or you imprint your spine. In the other direction, you arch your back so that the marble rolls onto the floor. Find the center of those two positions where the marble stops rolling. You'll notice that there's a gentle curve in the lower back. We don't want to push the back into the mat so the fingertips are higher than the thumbs. And we don't want to arch the back so much that the thumbs are higher than the fingers. You want that diamond shape to be level with a flat ceiling above you or the floor below you for that neutral spine. Make sure you're not flaring the rib cage off the mat. So your lower ribs are down. So we feel the middle of the back against the mat, the tailbone heavy with that gentle curve in between. Now bring the hands by the sides. You're going to press your shoulders back so you open up across your collarbones. Here is where a lot of people would pop the back off the mat by accident, so keep your lower ribs down and keep your chest open. That creates this adjustment and it gives you some length into the front of the neck. It takes a lot of focus to maintain these positions, especially if there's an imbalance in the body at the moment. And we'll keep training ourselves back to this neutral setup. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, shoulders back. You're going to bring your brain into your armpits. So when we draw our shoulders down, you think about the armpits pulling your shoulders down. So let's just practice. We're going to inhale our shoulders up to the ears. With the exhale, get into the armpits and draw down, so hands towards the end of the mat. You're also making sure that this doesn't happen, that our shoulders don't roll forward. So you do your best to keep your shoulders back. That can be challenging if some of us have tight chest muscles. So you keep drawing it back, lower ribs down. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, get into the armpits and draw down. Once more, inhale, slide your shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, use your armpits to draw down and keep reaching towards the end of the mat. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, shoulders back. So that's our setup with the bones. Let's just get into the breathing. So we're going to take our hands onto the outsides of the rib cage, thinking about breathing wide and then back in. Later on in Pilates, we'll do a full 3D breath, but now at this beginner level, we'll focus on this lateral breath. So make sure the hands are nice and high. You can feel the bones, that you're not too low. You're not on your pelvis, you're up on your rib cage. Inhale and open the ribs out to the sides. Exhale, draw the ribs in and down. Breathe into the back and side of your rib cage. Exhale, knit the ribs together. So you feel the ribs drawing in and down towards your hip bones. Once more, inhale and exhale. When you're ready, hands by the sides. So just check in with that bone setup. Your tailbone is heavy, lower ribs are heavy, armpits drawing down, reaching towards the end of the mat, shoulders back, lower ribs down, gentle chin nod to lengthen the back of your neck. Let's get into the muscle work. The back of the pelvic floor, when you lift the pelvic floor, it just feels like you're holding in wind. So keep your bum on the ground and just lift the muscles. The front of the pelvic floor feels like you're holding in P, and you keep it gentle because we don't want to tense the hips. So very gentle. Find the pelvic floor, holding in wind, holding in P, and let it go. Holding in wind, holding in P, and let it go. So we find the pelvic floor, then you deflate your belly, you scoop your belly, you draw the front of the body through the back of the body, so lower, middle, and in behind the rib cage. Then you draw your ribs in and down. So we take a breath in to prepare. With your exhale, front and back of the pelvic floor, scoop the belly and knit the ribs. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in and out. Inhale, open the ribs out. Exhale, find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. One of our Pilates principles is focus, another is centering. So for those two principles to work, we keep drawing our attention back to the midline. And this is our setup. We're going to look at this setup from all the different positions, but that's how we find and access our muscles in a neutral spine position, and that's how we find a neutral spine. So let's go for some exercises from here. We have tabletop, and we have ab prep. They're going to be the start of most of our exercises from this position. So let's go over tabletop. Take a breath in. Exhale, find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. You brace for about half a second before the movement. You maintain that bracing, and we're going to lift our right knee into tabletop. Breathe in. Exhale, switch on the core. Left knee into tabletop. Let's try that again. Breathe in. Exhale for the right knee. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, brace. Maintain the brace to lift the left knee. Knees and ankles together. Squash the knees and ankles together. It brings your brain back to the midline. You don't want to be cramming your back into the mat, so make sure you're still neutral. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy. Open up the chest. Exhale, you're going to lengthen your right leg up to the ceiling. Keep the left leg in tabletop and lower it back to tabletop. Exhale, stretch the back of the left leg and then lower to tabletop. Exhale, right leg. Inhale to lower. Scoop through the core. Exhale, left leg and inhale to lower. Get that length into the back of the legs. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Let's add on, and your goal here is pelvic stability, so we don't want any rocking in the pelvis. Lower ribs are down, shoulders are back. Exhale, lengthen the right leg at a diagonal, so not down here to the floor, at a diagonal, and inhale to draw it back. Exhale, left leg, and inhale. As the right leg reaches, you keep the left leg in tabletop, so we're not here, we're not here, we're not here. You're in that tabletop position. Think about what's not moving. Inhale, draw it back. Exhale, second side, and inhale to draw it back. Use your core. Exhale and inhale. Relax the shoulders. Exhale and inhale. Just once more each side. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Separate the ankles and the knees to hip width apart. Scoop the core, knit the ribs. So switch on your core, lower the left foot. Breathe in. Switch on the core, lower the right foot. Let's go for ab prep. Float the hands and reach across the room. The armpits draw down towards your front pockets. Exhale, pelvic floor, abs, ribs. Ribs draw in and down. Head, neck and shoulders lift as one unit. You want the lower ribs to draw down, so it helps you to reposition the rib cage. And we want to make sure we're not cramming the back into the mat. So let's try that again. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, zip up through the center. Head, neck and shoulders lift, and you still have your neutral pelvis. You can support your head anytime you need to. Never push through pain here with the neck. So anytime you're not sure, lower the shoulders down. That can be with the hands supporting it, or you can lower your shoulders down using the abs. You can do all of the exercises with just the legs and the shoulders down at beginner level. So there's no pressure to have both sides of the body up. Perks of being an ab prep is learning how to relax our neck and use our abs. We use the upper abs more, which will help to release the mid back, and it helps the exercises to be more intense. There's more of us away from the floor, but do modify if you need to. So we're going to float the arms and reach. Exhale, scoop the core, lift your left knee into tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, scoop the core, lift the right knee, knees and ankles together. Reach the arms. Exhale, head, neck and shoulders lift into ab prep. You're going to just very gently support the head. You're not pushing the head forward. Scoop the belly and knit the ribs, so you could let go with the hands and the neck would feel the same. But just for now, while we learn the leg work, support your head or lower the shoulders down. Exhale, scoop through the core, lengthen the left leg. We've done this already. Inhale to bend the knee. Exhale, lengthen the right leg, and inhale to bend the knee. Once more each side. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Scoop the core, knit the ribs, right leg, and bend the knee. Watch that you're not looking up at the ceiling. So scoop the belly, knit the ribs. You're looking towards your knees or towards your belly button. This exercise is called single leg stretch. We've done the leg portion already. Make sure you're not pushing on the head, so the shoulders should feel light, the wrists should feel light. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs to take some of the weight out of the hands. It's just going to make the abs shake a little. Exhale, lengthen the left leg at a diagonal. Reach through the ankle so the hip is nice and light. The leg is trying to leave the hip. And inhale, draw it back, the knees touch. Exhale, right leg, stretch the leg away from the hip, and inhale. Pelvic stability, lower ribs heavy. Exhale, left leg, inhale, draw it back. Exhale, right leg, and inhale, draw it back. 3 rounds. 2 rounds, slow and controlled. Are your knees touching again in the center? We want that for that midline focus. 2 more rounds. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. 1 more round. Draw the armpits down. Relax the shoulders. Get into the core. Exhale and inhale. Lower the shoulders down. Hug your knees in or lie down flat if you prefer. Take a deep breath in and out. And you can rock your knees from side to side. Let your head out from side to side. Just relax your back. Whenever you're ready, you can come forward. You could use your hands to come forward or just roll the way I'm doing. And we're coming to this seated position. You have hip width between the feet and the knees. And instead of our shoe size now, we're going to bring our feet further forward. So you can push down, pushing the heels into the mat and drag them towards you slightly so we get that engagement through the legs. You feel nice and stable. Reach the arms in front and relax the shoulders. Get your brain into the front and the back of your pelvic floor, holding in wind, holding in P. Just a gentle bit of work there at the pelvic floor. Scoop the belly and knit the ribs. Sometimes we think our back is straight, and then we bring the muscle work in and we realize there's a little bit of ironing out to do. We create this core set. So inhale to the side of the ribs. Exhale, pelvic floor, abs, ribs. So we're about to do some arm work, but we don't want this to happen with the rib cage. So scoop the belly, knit the ribs. You're going to inhale and reach the arms forward, shoulder blades separate. Exhale, you draw the shoulder blades together. That's okay if the arms widen a little bit. Inhale, shoulder blades slide forward. Exhale, you draw the shoulder blades together. So we protract our shoulder blades and then we retract our shoulder blades. Find the center, so where we're not spreading the shoulder blades too far apart and where we're not squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're just relaxed. The shoulder blades are flat against the rib cage. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs. This position, you draw the armpits down while lengthening the neck. So it's like someone's pulling you up by your 2 ears. Can you open the arms out to the sides? Feel that lovely stretch across the chest. You're knitting the ribs together. Let that go. So just sit, reach the arms in front, open the arms out. We don't get the same level of focus, concentration, or the same soft tissue release through our pecs. So set it up properly, connect properly, use your core, and the rest of the body is going to get loads of rehab as well. So anchor the hips down, get your brain into the front and the back of the pelvic floor, scoop the belly, knit the ribs, armpits down, the core is working, you open the arms out and it gives you this lovely neck and chest and arm stretch. Now come back to the center. You're going to scoop the belly and knit the ribs. Now separate the shoulder blades, nod your chin in and follow the hands forward so you stretch the upper back and the mid back. Now do the opposite of that. Start to roll yourself back as if there's a wall behind you. Lower back, mid back, upper back. And we avoid this, so scoop the belly, knit the ribs, relax the armpits down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, scoop the belly so we get longer. Reach forward, nod your chin, head following the hands forward, stretching through the spine. Inhale and exhale to roll and stack. Lower back, mid back, upper back. Relax the shoulders, unstick the chin. Engage through the core and open the arms out. Get that lovely rehab across the chest and the arms. And you can let it go. You can go to one side with the legs, or you can cross your ankles over and come through onto all fours, whatever suits your knees, but take your time. And whenever you're ready, you can meet me here on all fours. You have the size of 2 fists between your knees for your own personal hip distance. It's important that we start with this hip width apart. When the knees are close, the ball and socket joint changes its position, so the head of the femur will come out slightly. And when the knees are too far apart, we could be putting pressure on the SI joints. Later on, those movements might be fine, but we're trying to find neutral. We're trying to find our foundation here, our Pilates setup. So hip width between the knees, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. That's nice and wide. So if you were to slide back, the thumbs would hit the outsides of the knees. Spread your fingers out wide. And now we do the same as when we were seated. Slide your shoulder blades together and apart. We just have a lot more feedback here because of the floor. Our nervous system has much more awareness of where we are in space and those connections. Slide your shoulder blades across your rib cage and open out. Find the center where you're not squashing the shoulder blades together, you're not rounding too much. Our shoulders are nice and flat against the rib cage. Gentle bend in the elbows, as if you're about to do a push-up. You just feel stability increase in the arms. Relax your neck. Reach forward through the crown of the head and draw your shoulders down. So there's no pinched skin in the back of the neck. You're just looking straight down and reaching forward through the crown of the head. At the same time, you reach back through the tailbone. So we feel that length and opposition through the body. Forward through the head, back through the tailbone. Tuck your tailbone under and then lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. These are just our pelvic tilts now from all fours instead of lying on our backs. So we have what would be the imprint if we're lying on our back, and then the arch, and you find the center for neutral. Can you press into the front of the feet as if you're about to lift the knees, but don't lift the knees? It just gives you that activation through the core. Get your brain into the front and the back of the pelvic floor. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs. You really solidify the center and reinforce with the exhale. If you focus on the center, your body's going to balance here. So scoop the belly, knit the ribs. Now just slide the right hand forward and inhale to lower down. Exhale, use the core, slide the left hand and inhale to lower down. The more you focus on the middle, the less you're going to wobble, and that's our goal. Exhale, right hand and inhale. Scoop your core for the left hand and inhale. Once more each side, right hand. The whole body is working here, and inhale. We'll feel our abs tomorrow. Left hand and inhale. Check your shoulders, check your pelvis, soften the elbows, check your neck, press into the feet, scoop through the core, knit the ribs. Now we're going to try that with the legs. Switch on your core, lengthen the left leg back behind you. You zip up through the core and knit the ribs. So we're not arching the back, we'd have to open the ribs to arch the back. So scoop the belly, knit the ribs, shoot the leg straight back behind you. Imagine someone's pulling on your ankle. The more you reach through the leg, the less weight you're going to feel in the hands. And inhale to draw the knee in. Exhale, switch on the core, right leg back, reach through the toes, the ankle, the knee and the hip. And inhale to draw it back in. Exhale, switch on the core, reach through the left leg, stretch through the ankle, and inhale. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your neck. Exhale, the right side, scoop the belly, reach through the leg, and inhale. Once more each side. Exhale. As you stretch, you also feel the muscles recruit, and inhale. Knit your ribs together, find your position. Exhale, second side, stretch, and inhale. Let's put that together, and remember we focus on the center. Then a lot of that stability is done for us. It's when we think about where the arm and the leg are, sometimes we can wobble. So you keep drawing your focus back in that mind-body connection. Exhale, switch on your core, left leg back behind you. Make sure you've got your pelvis position. Stretch through the leg, scoop through the core, and then you can release the right hand. If you'd prefer to just do the arm or the leg, that's fine. And inhale to lower down. Exhale, second side, right leg, left hand. Check your position with the center and inhale to lower down. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your neck. Exhale, right hand, left leg. Inhale to lower. Exhale, left hand, right leg. And inhale to lower. Once more each side, right hand, left leg. And inhale to lower. Connect to the start of the class, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, left hand, right leg. And inhale to lower. And and you can relax it out. So you may want to take a break on the elbows and breathe into your back. If it's okay with your knees, you can sit fully into a shell pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let everything go. Breathe down along your spine, fill up your lungs. And exhale fully. Whenever you're ready, you can come all the way down onto the belly. So you're going to relax your shoulders, reach through your feet. So your feet are hip width apart or a little bit closer, just to make sure they're not too wide. So we still focus on the inner thighs. Float your feet. Imagine someone is pulling your toes back out of your ankles, ankles back out of your knees, knees back out of your hips. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone, so it presses the front of your feet down into the mat. So tuck your tailbone and push into the front of the legs. Tailbone under, pubic bone down. Relax your shoulders. Get the elbows down onto the ground so we're not winging the shoulder blades. They're flat against your rib cage. Reach forward through the crown of the head. Feel that energy reaching through the crown of the head and back through the tailbone so we have this sense of opposition through the body. Imagine there's an ice cube underneath your belly button. You're trying not to melt it. Or a thumbtack, you're trying not to get pricked. Or a little candle, and you're trying not to get burnt. Any way you like to scoop out the belly, it kind of draws you towards the ground. So tuck your tailbone under it, press into the front of the legs. Find the front and back of your pelvic floor, holding in wind, holding in P. Scoop the belly and knit the ribs. Can you maintain this position with the spine? So there's very little arching in the back. You're tucking the tailbone and lift the right leg. That's hard. And then lower down. Left leg while tucking the tailbone and lower down. So it's frustrating, right? Because we just want to push our belly into the mat and lift. But we're not going for height. We're going for stability and length. So right leg and lower. Left leg and lower. Get your brain into the middle of the body. Right leg, easier to balance, and inhale. Left leg and lower. Tuck your tailbone. Can you do that with both legs? Exhale and inhale. Are you aware of your pelvis still? Your ab work? And inhale. Keep that focus in the legs. This is a lot of work. We're really in those stabilizing fibers, those deep layers within the body, those slow twitching fibers. So even though we're not doing big movements, we're going to feel the whole body tomorrow, all those little muscles waking up. So keep reaching, keep tucking, but inhale to lift the upper body. Head, neck and shoulders move together. We're trying to avoid cramming the belly into the mat. So you're still tucking the tailbone. It's frustratingly small. And then exhale to lower down. Reach forward through the neck and the crown of the head. Shoulders back, reach through the legs. Inhale to peel the upper body. And exhale to lower. Keep it small, gently working the back and slowly working the back. Shoulders down, tuck the tailbone. We're still working the core. Inhale and exhale. Just once more, shoulders down your back. Inhale and exhale. We're going to go for an exercise called swan dive prep. Tuck your tailbone, scoop through the core, knit the ribs, shoulders down. Beginner Pilates is very precise and very specific. Mind-body connection. We're fully focused on the task at hand. So there's no space to think about other things. Keep drawing your attention in. What's my pelvis doing? Can I feel my pelvic floor, my abs and my ribs? As I inhale with that lateral breath, I feel my lungs. As I exhale, I reconnect to the center and reinforce. So inhale to lift the upper body. Exhale as you lower, the legs lift like a rocking horse or a seesaw. Inhale, the feet lower and the head lifts. Exhale, the head lowers and the feet lift. Remember that tuck from your tailbone. Inhale to peel as the feet lower. Exhale, lower the upper body as the legs lift. Keep stretching back through the ankles. Let's just go for 4. For 3, think of your pelvis. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders relax for 2. Last one, tuck your tailbone. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. Your whole body was working there, so just relax it out. Take a deep breath in and out. Let everything go. When you're ready, you can press back onto all fours. A welcome stretch for our calves and for our back. And just a gentle cat-cow stretch. just to feel yourself again and relax your back after that extension. So even though it's a small movement, we feel the deep back extensors. We feel our erector spinae, our multifidi muscles all working and stabilizing. And that's going to translate into the rest of the week for us and how sturdy we feel, how supported we feel, and it helps to relax those bigger overworking muscles so we get that energy from the inside out. Whenever you're ready, we're going to come to a seated position. So we're going to cross our ankles over and anchor the hips down. So imagine from underneath your ribs and down, you're stuck in cement. So we can only move the rib cage. So anchor yourself, ground yourself, feel the pelvis nice and steady against the ground. Think about the front and back of your pelvic floor, so holding in wind, holding in P. Scoop your belly and then knit your ribs. So see how that repositions us like earlier. So in case we're flaring the rib cage, anchor down, pelvic floor, abs, ribs. It's going to help to give you length into the front of the neck, to get rid of any extension in the mid-back, to corset the spine, connect you through the center, find those neutral curves. So that's our starting position. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs, reach the arms out, melt your armpits down the sides of your body and lengthen your neck as if someone's pulling you up by your ears or the back of the crown of the head, and melt your armpits down. Stretch apart like a Mr. Stretch doll, reach through the fingers, the wrists, the elbows and the shoulders, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. You're going to turn your left palm up to the ceiling and you're so focused on stretching that you feel that spiral from the wrist all the way up into the shoulder. Keep your brain in the wrist of your left hand, lifting up and over until your right fingertips touch the ground. Think about a line through the arm, through the ribs and into the hips. So we're not going for a big side bend at the moment. You draw the shoulder down and think about that line. Inhale to the center, stretch apart, swap your palms. And exhale, keep your brain in the right wrist until the left fingertips touch the ground. Draw the shoulders down, think of the line from the arm into the ribs. Inhale nice and tall, relax the shoulders, stretch apart, swap your palms, keep stretching. Then exhale, your brain is in the top hand until the bottom fingertips touch the floor, shoulders down. Once more, inhale. Reach and swap your palms, anchor the hips down and exhale. Later on we'll turn this preparation into a move called mermaid, but it's nice to feel that stability and that anchoring first. Swap the cross of your ankles. We're going to create this gun position with the hands, so a little Charlie's Angel gun. So thumbs together and index fingers together, thumbs onto your breastbone or where your collarbones meet, the flat bone you can feel there, and your fingers onto your chin. Can you lift your elbows up without the shoulders creeping up? So shoulders and armpits down, lift the elbows up. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs. You're going to anchor your ribs down, you're stuck in cement, and just move from the mid-spine. Head, neck and shoulders move together as you rotate to the right. Come back to the center. Head, neck and shoulders move together as you rotate to the left and come back to the center. Let go with the hands, keep the chest open, reach apart with the elbows, scoop the belly, knit the ribs, armpits down. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Think of the head, neck and shoulders moving together. So see, instead of this, you're really connected to the center of the body. We'll do that once more. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And you can let it go. After any exercise, if you'd like to relax your hips or relax your shoulders, please do. Whenever you're ready, we're coming to a side lying position. I'm starting on my left side, so you could mirror me by starting on the right side. You can lie down flat if you like, or you can support your head, whatever's more comfortable. And we're going to bend our knees straight out from our hips, so there's a 90-degree angle behind the knees. There's a little space underneath the lower side of the body, so instead of hiking a hip, we're stacking the hips. And if your knee keeps sliding backwards, we've lost our stacking in the hips, so keep your knees on top of each other. Relax your shoulders, the hand can help you balance in front and lengthen your neck. To start with, we're just going to lift and lower this top leg. As you lift up, you push the bottom leg down. You feel that opposition in Pilates. We're just going to do 3. So we inhale and exhale, the knees on top of each other again. 2, inhale, press down while you pull up and exhale. and 1. Inhale and exhale. Now the heels are going to glue together. We inhale, externally rotate the hip. Make sure you don't veer backwards. So exhale, the knees on top of each other again. Relax the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. We'll just do 2. Once more. Now we're going to lift the top leg and your knees are going to touch. So we internally rotate from the hip. Then we're going to externally rotate. So we inhale and exhale. See how few reps we've done here, but we're really starting to feel the glutes. Less is more. Inhale and exhale. Focus and it becomes more efficient. We don't need as many reps to work the muscles. It's nicer on the joints. And exhale. Once more. Inhale and exhale. So now we've done a bit of range for the hips and you can relax it down. If you want to wake up the outside of the hip, do. We'll do all of that on the second side. So you can take your time swapping sides. You could lie down flat and do all the leg work. You can support your head, whatever you prefer. Lengthen your neck, relax your shoulders down, 90-degree angle behind the knees. And we know our hips are stacked if our knees are still on top of each other. The hand can help you balance, relax the shoulders. Inhale, just a parallel lift, and exhale, knees on top of each other. Simple for some of us. For some of us, we're going to have to really work to keep the hips stable. Inhale and exhale. Let's just practice 3. Remember, you press down while the other leg pulls up. We get that opposition. Once more. Inhale and exhale. Now our heels are going to glue together. We're going to turn out the hip or externally, laterally rotate, and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's try for 3. Inhale and exhale. Lengthen the neck for 2. Inhale and exhale. Last one, are your knees stacking? Are you pressing down into the bottom leg? We want all of those connections. Now we're going to float the top leg. We inhale to internally rotate and exhale to externally rotate. Inhale, we tap the knees. Exhale, we tap the toes. The glutes are working, those deep stabilizers working from the inside out. Inhale and exhale. Just 2 more for today. Inhale and exhale. Once more. Inhale and exhale. And lower the leg down and just wake up the outside of the hip. Whenever you're ready, we're going to come onto our backs again. Let's go over our setup just so we keep on reinforcing the foundation. So your feet are parallel with each other with the sides of the mat, hip width apart the size of 2 fists between the feet and the knees, your shoe size roughly, heels to glutes, and you can roll your back down onto the mat. Check in with your pelvis position, so imprint and arch, imprint and arch, and you can find the center for a neutral pelvis position. Lower ribs are heavy, remember the start of the class. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, that gentle, neutral curve in between. Hands by the sides, armpits draw the arms down the sides of the body. Shoulders back without flaring the rib cage, so lower ribs are still down. Take a breath in. Exhale, find the front and the back of your pelvic floor. Holding in wind, holding in P. Scoop the belly and knit the ribs without cramming your back into the mat. So inhale. Exhale. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, switch on your core. We're going to use the lower abs, so you scoop the front of the body through the back of the body to imprint your spine. And now you peel the tailbone, press into the feet. Your lower back, 1 bone at a time. Mid back, 1 bone at a time. Upper back, and reach your knees across the room. Tuck your tailbone so you open up across the front of the hips. We minimize the arch in the back, so tuck your tailbone under. Knees to hips, to ribs, to shoulders. Press into your big toes to make sure we're not opening the knees out. The inner thighs are working. Press into your heels. You feel your bum muscles working. Take a breath in. Exhale to lower upper spine, 1 bone at a time. Mid spine, 1 link at a time. Lower spine and release to neutral. The legs are working, the back line works in this exercise. Take a breath in. Exhale, use your lower abs and imprint your spine. Peeling like a bicycle chain, 1 link at a time. Lower back, mid back, Upper back, reach your knees across the room, tuck the tailbone, open the front of the hips, breathe in. Exhale to lower upper spine, one bone at a time. Mid spine, one link at a time. Lower spine and release to neutral. When you're ready, you can hug your knees in, roll it forward, relax your shoulders, and we're finished. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you on our next class.